Okay, Gautam Shah is joining us on this Diwali Muhurat coverage. Very, very happy Diwali to you. So is Mayuresh Joshi. Happy Diwali to all of you, and of course from the entire NDTV Profit family to all of your families as well. Gautam, great to have you here. Let me start by, sort of getting your sense on what would be your top Diwali picks for the Samvat coming ahead, and how soon do you think the mood is going to change? I'm not even asking people if it's going to change, I'm asking them by when.
Hi, good evening, and thanks for having me. I wish the entire wonderful team at NDTV Profit a very happy Diwali, and to all your viewers as well. If you look at the last 20-25 years, the period of Diwali has this uncanny ability to trigger market bottoms and market tops. I think we've seen this multiple times in the past. We've sort of seen a mini bear market in the last 4 weeks. If you look at the headline indices, you might say that it's not such a deep cut. But if you ask anybody on the street, and if you really look at the broader data, it's really been quite ugly. But as we stand today, and if you really look at the breadth data and the technical studies, I do believe that we might be close to a bottom. And I think this is a shakeout that we actually needed. And it's a wonderful platform for the markets to start building up on the bull market again. I do believe that we could be very, very close to that. Maybe as we get into the month of November, we are already there. But as we get into next week, I think the action is going to be a lot more constructive. So I wouldn't be too negative. I don't think the indices are running away anywhere. 24,000 sort of could be a base, 26,000 could be a sort of a ceiling, and we might just oscillate within this range for many months to come. But this is going to be a very stock specific market, like what happened in the first half of this year, where the Nifty was in a sort of a range. And I think over the next 1 year, financial services could be the real key theme. I think valuation wise, it's reasonable. Technically, I think it's very well placed. We love the way some of the top stocks are placed. We like the way HDFC Bank is shaping up, SBI is shaping up, ICICI Bank, Bajaj Finance. So I do believe that Bank Nifty could potentially be the trade from this Diwali to next Diwali.
Nifty, Gautam, if you bought the Nifty at 24,200, 24,300, or let's go with 24,400 because that's pretty much what it might give us in the next few days. Long for the November series, you think, Gautam? Happy Diwali, of course.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, long for November series. I think October, we've already seen a 2,000 point fall. Just to share a statistic with you, on an important day, just 18% of the stocks on the NSE 500 are trading above the 50-day moving average. Historically, in the last 4 years, whenever you've reached such numbers, the markets have always found stability and a bottom. And if you look at the last 3 or 4 days, the screen has started to look constructive because we've handled geopolitics really well. We've handled earnings really well. We've handled the FI selling really well. Who would have imagined that you would get 85,000 crores of sales and the market would have lost 8% from the top? So I think look at the positive side of things, and it clearly tells you that the month of November should be constructive, and that's what the charts are saying. It's not a bias that I have, and I do believe that the market will be range bound, but then stocks and sectors, whether it's pharma, whether it's metals, IT and banks, these are the 4 pockets which I think will stand out.
Go to Mayuresh though. Gautam, I just want to ask you a follow-up on the first point that you mentioned, because everybody is now saying financials is the thing. What banks would you bet on? Would you bet on ICICI, HDFC, maybe Kotak or that? Or stocks like IndusInd, which are giving a bit of a corrective move and maybe better valuations? Or would you go for PSU banks? What is it that you like within banking? Because you're calling that as the key leader for the next Samvat.
I believe for the longest time that the Bank Nifty is a stock. It's just not an index, because just a few stocks in the Bank Nifty lead to a big move either on the way up or on the way down. And the beauty is, in the Bank Nifty, you have certain names which are near 52-week lows, and you can talk about IndusInd Bank, and there are certain names, you can say HDFC Bank, which are actually near 52-week highs. I want to stay with the winners, and I do believe that over the next 1 year, you will see an HDFC Bank move towards a level of 2,000. I do believe a stock like SBI will move towards a level of 1,000, and I do believe that ICICI Bank as a stock will be one of the bigger outperformers. So I'm still staying with the 3 big names. I don't want to go lower down. I don't want to be in the Kotaks and the IndusInd Banks and the Axis and the RBLs of the world. I think the top 3 will deliver almost mid-cap returns if you have to take a 1-year view.
Mayuresh, do you reckon the large caps can give mid-cap returns fundamentally? Gautam is, of course, quite convinced about his opinion, and a lot of people have actually spoken about this. Are you constructive banks here, Mayuresh? Happy Diwali to you.
Evening, Neeraj. A very happy Diwali to you, all the viewers of NDTV Profit, and everyone at NDTV Profit behind the scenes as well. So I think we remain constructive because I think a lot of expectations as far as earnings were concerned were a tad bit on the downside. But I think a lot of banks are probably surprised in terms of the earnings delivery. And therefore, I think a large part of the market expectation is now of the belief that the compression in NIMs might not be that harsh, even as we head into the next few quarters. Obviously, I think the kind of alternate sources that they probably might need to look at in terms of their borrowing needs to be a little more diverse as we head into the next few quarters, and a scenario where you are going to see a rate cut cycle in the Indian context as well. So to that extent, yes, banks, both from a valuation perspective and a price action perspective, look attractively placed. ICICI Axis, as I've time and again mentioned, remain our holdings in the large cap banks as far as our global portfolios are concerned. Within the mid cap names, Karur Vysya Bank, Neeraj, has given an excellent set of numbers. The commentary is very, very positive and supportive, and the management is of the belief that numbers will in fact show more improvement as we head into the next few quarters. And they've got a granular balance sheet, both in terms of their liability and their asset mix as well. So I think one of the picks from markets with India as far as the mid cap base is concerned is Karur Vysya.